Hi YouTube family, it's Molly, and today I'm here as a slight continuation to my last video about um, losing weight quote unquote quickly, because some people feel that I am, um, and some questions that went along with that about my journey that I've gotten lately. And So the golden rules that you always hear about are water, protein, and walking. And if you want to hear my spiel on those things, go watch the video before this, because I'm not going to go into those again. This one I want to focus more on the golden rules that I have that I don't hear people talk about, or not nearly as much. So the first one is the length of your meals. And I see so many people say, I eat this, and it seems like a large quantity. A lot of times it's involving carbs, and people question them on how they're getting that down, especially because they tend to be early out in the game. And the response is always, well, it took me an hour to get it down. First golden rule that I never hear anybody talk about from my surgeon's office is meals take 15 to 20 minutes, and that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. 20 minutes and you're done. Um, and there's good reasoning for that. It shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to fill your sleeve. If you're taking longer, you're sitting there waiting for food to leave your sleeve so that you can put more food in your sleeve. That's sleeve abuse. You're clearly getting in way more than you need to feel satisfied and full, and getting in way more calories than you need to. That's not why you got the sleeve. You got the sleeve to give you that tool to feel full quicker. So sitting there to have an hour-long meal because you can't get in a full piece of pizza in 20 minutes, no, that's not how it works. So first golden rule that I never hear anybody talk about is 20-minute meals. And then that also leads me to going back to the water. If you're having an hour-long meal and you're stopping drinking a half an hour before and not drinking until half an hour after, that means that each of your meals is taking you 2 hours to eat. You do that 3 times a day. That is 6 hours out of your day that you're not drinking. How in the world are you getting down 64 ounces of water? I don't see it happening. I mean, maybe 64. I couldn't get in my 120 that I typically get in. But getting in an adequate amount of water when you're taking 6 hours out of your day to eat, no. So golden rule number 1 that I never hear people talk about. I'm going to say it again. 20-minute meals. After that, you're done. And then the next two are 2 golden rules that I never hear about, that come mainly from, or the reason I want to talk about them is because I've gotten questions about how I haven't gotten sick yet. So I'm 5.5 weeks out, and I have not once thrown up, gotten sick, anything that people talk about that happens supposedly all the time right after surgery when you're learning your sleeve and you're learning what it likes. I haven't had any of it. And I think that possibly it could be because Esteban, my sleeve, loves me and he likes anything I put in it. But I also very, very strongly believe that it's because of these next 2 things that I'm going to talk about. So the next golden rule that my surgeon's office gave me is pea-sized cuts of food. Anything you're eating, no matter what it is, should be cut up into the size of a pea. And even if you're taking in maybe 2 of them at a time, that means that they're pre-cut into a size that really you could potentially take down without chewing. You don't want to, but in case it slips down, in case you don't quite get in that 20 to 30 bites per, or 20 to 30 chews per bite, potentially sliding one of those down would be okay. Of course, it also really depends on the food, but cutting your food into pea-sized bites helps get it chewed up to the consistency that it needs to be in those 20 to 30 bites. And make sure that, if you accidentally swallow and it's not fully chewed up, that you're potentially going to be okay. And it slows you down. It's not completely detrimental to my life that I have to cut my food into pea-sized bites. I don't really think twice about it anymore. You're eating slow and you're eating small quantities. Pea-sized bites, pea-sized cuts of food is, if you're scaling down your life, you're scaling down how much food's on your plate, scale down those bites too. And really that means a pea-sized bite of food. So I think that's the first thing that contributes to the fact that I have not gotten sick on anything. And then the second one, which kind of goes hand in hand with that, is nothing goes into your mouth from your hand to your mouth. It goes on a fork or other utensil and then into your mouth. So, I know a lot of people will try sandwiches or pizza or something, or even crackers, eating with their hands. And I can tell you right now that I did stretch this rule twice, and both times I felt like I was going to get sick. I felt a little bit uneasy, so I immediately put it down and changed how I was doing it. So the one time I had a bag of protein chips and picked up a chip, put it in my mouth, the whole thing. Would I have put a full-size protein chip in my mouth if I had seen it on a plate? I would probably have cut it into at least 4 to get to the pea size. So, and when I swallowed that, even though it was chewed up really well, I felt a little uneasy, and I was like, they're right. Nothing goes in your mouth from your hands to your mouth. And then the other time I had picked up a link of turkey sausage, and I was like, I don't want to, have to do dishes. I'm just going to grab this off my plate, and then I don't need a fork and a knife. Took one bite of it. Clearly there was much more in my mouth. Even though I tried and thought I was taking a small bite, there was much more in my mouth than I would have if I would have put it on a plate and cut it into pea-sized bites. And I chewed and chewed and chewed to make sure that I really got that good before it went down, and didn't really feel that uneasy, but there was a different feeling. And from those 2 times, even though I didn't get sick, I knew that without controlling that, it would be very easy to get sick from putting things directly into your mouth, not on a fork. And that's really just because you end up putting more in your mouth when you're using your hands than a utensil. And so that really goes back to pea-sized cuts of food, and that's it. So, the first one, the 20-minute meals only, I think that really contributes. That was really in response to people asking how I've lost weight so quickly, and I think that's a caloric control from not eating 3 times as long as I need to, and also because I'm only taking out maybe an hour of my time, an hour and 20 minutes of my time to eat, as compared to 2 hours to eat. So getting in that extra water, critically important, in my opinion. And then the other 2, the pea-sized cuts of food and don't eat with your hands, really comes from people asking me what it is that I think contributes to the fact that I haven't gotten sick yet on this journey. And so I hope that helps some of you out there. Maybe try some new things to implement into your plan, and I guess that's it. So have a great day, guys.